I'm retired. I worked here at Pomona College. I started in 1961 and retired in 2003. And am inactive as far as a job and retirement, but I keep active in maintaining my health. And I'm also working as a coach for the national Greek baseball team. When I came to Pomona, I came as a physical education instructor primarily, but I also coached track and field, and I was assistant football coach for the first couple years, and then I migrated to coaching the baseball team and continued as the football coach. In my physical education activity classes, I taught most all of the classes at one time or another. But I think I specialized more in fitness, weight training and conditioning type of classes, but also taught volleyball and tennis and racquetball, handball, and swimming as far as filling in what was needed. I think I was blessed with the fact that all throughout my years I was involved with coaching, and there was an osmosis that took place where you had to be in some kind of condition to participate in sports, or participating in sports allowed you to be in some kind of good condition as long as you did it the whole year long. So that was kind of, an opening. That door opened up for me to understand that. And of course, my training after high school and going to university, I then found out a lot more about why you have to do the conditioning part, why it's so important to do stretching, as an example, before and after activity, and what the benefits are, and what the shortcomings are if you don't do those things. It causes injury. Personally, I've had a lot of injuries, and I'm thankful that my involvement in sports has allowed me to really recover faster, to allow me to have a better recovery in getting back into shape to participate again. I've had a lot of surgeries and recovering from those surgeries from being injured was faster and better and more complete, having the exposure of conditioning. I will work out on a daily basis, Monday through Friday. I do very little on the weekend at home, but it's very little in organized activity. I'm busy with honeydews, building, fixing, repairing, digging, yard work, those kinds of things, but not an organized way, which I think is important. If you're going to be taking care of your body, you need to do it in an organized way rather than a hit and miss. You have to have a plan. And my plan is, I have the benefit of coming here to Pomona College. We have a marvelous weight training facility, not only for cardiovascular, but for resistive exercise. But I also belong to the Pomona College STED Rehabilitation Clinic at the hospital, where I go there as a member when I don't come up here to the gym. So sometimes the gym is not open at the hours where I'd like to work out. So I use both of those facilities. But what do I do is I will always warm up. I'll do a series of stretching exercises for the total body. I like to think of that as lubricating the muscles so that I can do activity without injuring or abusing any of the parts of my body. So after I do that initially, which is just a short time, but it is a vital time to get started, I'll then do a warm-up on the recumbent bicycle, and I usually go 1 hour. And again, this doubles as a warm-up, and it also is for cardiovascular improvement. And as soon as I get through with that 1 hour, I'll go into the weight room, and I'll do a series of total body exercises for resistive training. And the type of exercises that I do are for the total body, but I like to use upper body more important because of what I'm doing with the coaching that I do once a year with the National Greek baseball team. I pitch batting practice and I hit fungo, so I try to organize those exercises to keep those muscles in good shape and strong so that I have good success with that. Okay. Again, I'm stressing upper body, and I work the shoulder girdle quite a bit. I'll do a series of exercises that are complementary to one another using the theory of push, pull, up, down. So if I do a push exercise, I'll also do a pull exercise in my workout. There are many philosophies about weight training. I use a high repetition, low weight exercise program. I don't use heavy weights. What's not heavy would be for anyone to say, I would test myself on doing an exercise as much as I could, then I would start with half of that. Okay. So if I could do 100 pounds on the bench press, of course I could do much more, I would start with 50 pounds. That would be my interpretation of light. My interpretation of repetitions would be a minimum of 10 and a maximum of 20. But there are some exercises where I might do 50 or even 100, but I'd be using very light weight. So it's a high repetition, low weight workout, as opposed to someone that's doing a heavy weight with a few repetitions that are building a heavy muscle, that are getting ready for playing football or getting bigger. And I'm not interested in that. What I want to do is maintain what I've got, keep myself as trim as possible, and allow myself to be active without abusing any parts of my body. But I do increase resistance. As an example, when I increase resistance, I've established a starting weight, 50 pounds, and I'll do 10 repetitions. Well, each successive workout, I'll increase those repetitions till I get to 50 or 20 or whatever my maximum is. Then I'll increase the weight and start over with 10 repetitions. And when I get to maximum repetitions again, I'll increase the weight, start over with minimum repetitions. So I'm always increasing resistance, either with repetition, either by poundage, and also by workload. Workload is doing one set through all of the exercises, and when I get to a point of satisfactorily completing that, I'll go to 2 sets. So I'm always increasing, but I'm always under control. I'm not doing so much weight that I can't handle it. As one gets older, one has a tendency to become imbalanced, weaker, bent over. You don't feel good. You get sick a lot more. But I think this is because of inactivity. You have to have activity because your body is made up quite a bit of muscle, and you have to have that muscle worked so that it is functional. As an example, your heart is a muscle. So if you don't exercise, you're going to have a heart problem. Probably. If you don't exercise, there's a possibility of obesity that's going to take place. You're not eating properly. People that exercise nourish themselves. They stop exercising and they keep nourishing themselves at the same rate, and pretty soon they start getting overweight. And again, this is all again related to you do exercise or you don't do exercise. Exercise is it's a vital thing for our existence. You have to have it. But you have to also understand, I think, that in doing exercise, you have to do it so that it's something that you enjoy doing. It has to be convenient. Otherwise, you won't do it. You'll lapse, you'll procrastinate, and you'll put it off. You'll do it, and you'll come back, and you're always starting over again instead of maintaining what you've got and keeping yourself strong and healthy. You You have to perspire every day. You have to clean those pores. You have to look good, feel good, stand taller. And you do this, I think, with activity. And that activity has to be something that you enjoy again. It is walking with a dog, but it has to be organized and do it all the time, every day, whichever the case may be. It can be going to a gym. It can be working out with a friend or friends. But you have to get involved in something that you'll do it consistently and not put it off. It's so important for students for the beginning that are in sports, who participate, who work out, who need food for energy. Then when they move on to graduate school, they're not participating anymore, but they still maintain that same high level of food, and pretty soon, yes, they do get out of shape, they get overweight, their obesity sets in. I'm sure that without exaggeration, that 80 to 90% of the athletes get overweight after they stop participating because they don't cut back on their food. Very important. I think it's really important not only for the athletes, but even your general student body. They find themselves doing less. I mean, there's a lot of energy burned up just studying. I mean, you're really working and burning off calories. And when you stop doing all of that and you still eat the same amount of food, and you're going to run into a problem.